Hello and welcome back to Scrapping on the Fly, and today that is exactly what we're doing. We are scrapping on the fly. I've pulled some stuff out because I want to make a page with it, and I'm gonna just wing it. I've got a couple ideas. I don't know how they're gonna turn out because I've really not ever tried it, so here we go. All right, so this is the picture that I'm scrapbooking, and if you've watched my videos, I've just said in the last video I did that I don't normally do just one picture. So really there's an extra picture. It's just gonna kind of be tucked in. So it's not like this is a great picture. There's my mom and my daughter, I think. I mean, you can't really tell because like they're walking into these restaurants. So I can give you the story as we go because I'd like to keep this toned down as best I can. This is my base page, and I'm gonna do some tearing, some paper tearing, which is something I am totally new to doing because it has, up until recently, has been like a fear because I hate to tear pretty paper. All right, so these are the papers I'm working with. They both came out of a Paper Studios Beach House 2, and there are a ton. There's 60 different designs in this big old honking book. I pulled the colors out of this Mexican restaurant as one of the places that we ended up eating, and they had the green and the red, and these awnings here, so that's where I was pulling this from. So I am just gonna get started and go like literally wing it. And yes, those are whales and this like it's wood grain with paint, but then there's like whales on it. It's really cool, and I like it. Luckily there are 3 in the package because it would be really hard for me to be just tearing this paper if there weren't. So I am loosely putting these down with my Tombow. I just started using today for the first time. I'm still not like really good with glue because I'm not used to using glue very much. I use tear and tape, or I used to use like corner or little squares. So we will work this out together. But anyway, it's good, and it dries pretty quick. And so far the pages that I've done with it today have not warped or anything. I've had time to do what I need to do before it's dried. Which is good because, well, I don't, I make a lot of mistakes. All right, so we're gonna start there, and then I'm gonna put this down here in the corner. I do want a little of that green coming through, not much because it is not a very pretty color. And look, green is my favorite color, so I can say that. It's just not the prettiest green. It could be, like, you could use it on something maybe Christmassy or something like an evergreen. But anyway. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I'm working on the camera so you could see me doing all this crazy stuff I'm doing. Because I can't really explain it much as I go because I'm winging it as I go. So, anyway, I am just gluing it down on the corners. I don't want to glue up too high because I may do some more tearing. Like I know right here. Well, I don't know yet. Okay, so there's the beginning parts of that. So this picture is going on here for sure because that's the whole point of this page. And then I have these. These are from the Mexican restaurant that's on this picture, San Felipe's in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is where we go, not to San Felipe's, but for spring break every year, to Charlotte or in that area. And so these are from the utensil wrap. I just grabbed them one of the times we were there, and so I wanted to use it in the layout. So those are going to be in there. I don't know how predominant they will be because I got lots of stuff going on, even though there's only one real picture. And then I have this journal, and it's a Project Life journaling thing from Becky Higgins from the Honey edition. And so that actually only has, well, you can't even tell on there, it only has 3 little baby lines on here. And I took my black zig marker and made the lines longer because this story was going to take longer than 3 little baby lines. I mean, they were this big. So anyway, the story goes, our family was going to go to this place called the Flying Fish. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I know there's more than just the one in North Carolina, or actually it's in South Carolina in Myrtle Beach. But we were gonna go and we couldn't find it. And my dad put it in the GPS. We kept passing it over and over again. I mean, he was getting so mad and was just so frustrated. And so finally we ended up going all the way back to right near where our beach house is that we stay in for the spring break, and ate at this strip mall here. And we couldn't even decide where we wanted to go. So half of us went to this San Felipe's, and the other half of us went this direction to this Osaka place, Japanese place, which is where I went. So that's what the journaling square is talking about, and gives the whole story. So that's why it says our road trip, because man, that was a couple of hours of whoo, and man, my dad was red-faced at the end of it. So I am going to tuck this little peekaboo picture in. This is from when we actually made it to the Flying Fish. My daughter and my niece are trying to catch the fish that they are throwing at them. It's a terrible picture. It's really blurry. So I wasn't going to be able to use it in my layout really for which is what I'll be doing next, is the Flying Fish layout. But I wanted to kind of give like a little teaser. So like this tells the whole story about us ending up going to the hibachi place, and at the end it says story to be continued ... So I want to like tuck this in here so you could see it, but it's not really the focal point this is. So this will kind of be a side thought kind of thing. But I wanted it to be in there, thought that would be cute. Something I've really never done before. I have misplaced my tape. Okay. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to matte my picture. I'm definitely not matting the picture that I am taping now, the one of the blurry kid one from the Flying Fish, because it is going under here. And by the way, these do not come with these holes. The girl that I bought these off of, I think, was making a journal, and so I think she did that. So I think I want to hide the whole thing, but you can't even see part of that. So I'm thinking I want to tuck this here, and then I'm going to put the journaling square here. Nope, that's not gonna work. Hold on. I need more room. See, this whole tearing paper. Ooh, so stressful. But it's so freeing, because now I know that I can tear the page. It can still look really great, and I'm not losing the paper. Okay. So see, this is what happens when you don't plan. However, I don't like necessarily always planning my stuff, because then I don't have that freedom to just kind of do whatever. I love to do some tutorials. Those are neat. I've really enjoyed doing a lot of tutorials lately from this group that I'm in online. But I think that I really just enjoy, okay, here we go. This is what I want to do. Okay. I just really enjoy doing like different things, like just on the fly, random, no plan necessary. Let's see. I love scraps. This is just enough scrap for me. So I just rolled back to the corner and grabbed a piece of white scrap from my scrap bin. And yes, I have multiple scrap bins. Hold on. I had this all planned out. Well, okay, I didn't have it all planned out because that would kind of defeat the whole scrapping on the fly business. I am trimming up my picture a smidge because I want to have a little bit more of a border. But now I gotta put new corner. I like to corner my pictures. I don't always anymore. It really depends on what I'm doing. See, that gives it a much broader border. I didn't want it to just be a little smidge, but okay. Now. All right. Can't cut a straight line to save my life. All right. So here is where that is going. And I'm going to go ahead and lay it down because, you know what? I'm going to use the glue. I'm going to use the glue, guys. I keep forgetting to use the glue. I've been watching The Professionals. And I have a hard time with the glue. Okay. I want it to come down to this corner here. And yes, I know I did not glue down the paper. But that's okay because I can glue that little corner and go from there. See? Because look, I got this really handy dandy glue thing. Okay. You almost think I'm crazy. I mean, honestly, I can't lie. I am a little on the loopy side. But that makes me so much fun. Right? Right. I'm gonna agree with that. And I mean, unless you all comment, I'm just gonna assume that you all also think I'm just fun. So, you know. Okay, so that is the first step of what I want to do. And I am gonna go ahead and glue this. See, I'm getting glue everywhere. At least I warned y'all, I am not a glue aficionado. I'm gonna have to learn, you know. Oops, get my charms out of the way. I don't want them all glued up. These are my charms that I earned for scrapbooking from the website that I'm on with my favorite person, Anne-Marie. She challenges us to scrapbook more. And so I do. All right, so here's what this random new thing that I'm gonna do. These are from the dollar store. I had the packaging and I was gonna show them to you. Oh, here it is. It's just a Crafter Square stencil. And I got it because we were doing a transportation thing, or like if the theme was something flying, and I thought, oh, I could use that, but then I never did. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm gonna put this little car here. Mind you, this is all new to me. Because you can tell that I tested it out to make sure that it wasn't gonna like look ridiculous. But yeah, there's no telling what this is gonna look like. That's why I love it. Okay, so I am, see, lost my mind. All right, I'm putting this down here. All right, I am just taking this little ink pad and I'm just holding on to the stencil so it doesn't move, and I'm just inking over, hoping that I don't ink too far or too low, which I don't really care if it's a little bit out of, you know, and it doesn't have to be all on there perfect. It's kind of the whole point. Okay, let's see. There's the little car, and then I'm gonna get a paper towel because I'm gonna flip this bad boy over. Hey now, hey now. I'm just taking a paper towel to wipe the ink off of here, because the next thing I want to do is put this car down, and I had to flip it to do that because it was facing the other way. And we were, yes, we were going in circles, don't get me wrong, we certainly were, but I don't want to no, don't you do that. All right, if there was any way to draw a man in this car, Really, he has a truck, but I didn't have a truck. Stencil. But if there was a way to draw the man in this truck or car, I'm using lots of bad words, and no, I'm just kidding. My dad wasn't too much of a potty mouth, but he certainly was frustrated by the end of this experience. Okay. Trying to make sure that gets on the green paper where it needs to be, but nowhere else. We'll see. Okay, now that we've made probably a big old mess, look at that fabulousness. Okay, I'm gonna set that over there and I'll deal with it later. You re-lid these, because if I don't, I will stick my arm in them. Yep, that's the truth. I am not lying. Okay. Okay, so now I gotta try not to touch those as we go. And you know, I just about stuck my finger right in there, because that's the way I work, people. Okay, so now I'm going to put the journaling card down here at the bottom. You can see I attempted to make journaling lines over here because I was going to use it long ways, and then I totally messed them up. So then I was testing out my ink pen to see, or my journaling pen, to see if it would stand out with the black. So anyway, that's what was happening there. Okay, so I want to put this here, just coming off a little. And I don't want to do anything here yet because I want this. See, this is, I'm out of camera shot. I am taking the stickies out the back of this picture of the girls, and I don't know how much of it you're going to see. It's just whatever's going to fit over here because I didn't want to move the journaling score too far. Okay. See, you're not going to see much of anything. Ooh. Okay. Actually, this is about all I want to see anyway. Hold on. We're going to lift this up real fast, like. Move this over just a little bit more. This is, oh, see there? All right, now, I'm going to put this down here in the corner. Yes, my niece is getting covered up. Don't tell her. She would be so insulted. All right, Natalie. Okay. All right, so there's that. And now I need to add these, or at least one of them. And I may add them both in just like tuck. See? I'm not touching all of that. Okay, I'm just going to trim some of this off because there's no point in having all of that on there. All right, I'm going to tuck this bad boy in here. Just enough. And instead of putting glue under there, because I don't want it to come flying out of there, I'm just going to put this in here like this. And that's going to get tucked up under there. So I think you can see just enough of that to know what it says, and I can actually tear a little of this white off. See how lovely that works out? Okay. I can see it all. That's nifty. Okay. Okay. So there's that. If I use the other one, it'll probably be just to tuck in here, or maybe even to put it down here. So I'm gonna cut this off. I'm going to round it around kind of to follow the line of what is already going on here, so it doesn't take up anywhere near the space. And now that I think about it, see, thinking as I go, I scrap on the fly, I think on the fly, so I am going to pop this up on some foam squares. I got these at the dollar store. I like them. They work really well. They're really easy to work with. And they are, you get a ton of them for $1. So it makes it well worth it. And if I put this here, it is right on the white. So I'm gonna put it over here a little bit so it's partially on the white, partially on the green, partially on the picture. Okay, so this is the gist of what it's gonna look like. Now, I need to cover these because I don't want them shown. And I didn't care when I found out that all of them had that, because I knew it was pretty easy to cover with some stickers. So I do have one sticker that I want to put on here that says, "Oh no, not again." Now there's not really a person for me to put this on. I mean, it's like a thought bubble. So I think I'm just gonna stick it up here, kind of just in general. I thought I had one, and I know I do somewhere. I'll have to look for it. It has like the little expletive symbols, like the all those things. But I thought this would be the most appropriate time to put that on there. So really, the only thing I need now is something to cover this up, and I mean, honestly, easiest thing in the world to do is just to find some circles that will work, and I am pretty sure that these, I can find 2 circles on here that will work. It will tie in just fine to what I'm doing. They don't have to necessarily match or anything. Here's one that is actually red, so it does match just fabulous like. And this one is green. So see how that worked out for me? It's all scrapping on the fly. See, the answer is to own like everything in the world, and then ta-da. So there it is. My journaling is there. The little peekaboo pictures, it kind of goes on there. The cars, because we were driving forever. The restaurants, and everything. I love the paper. We were at the beach, so this totally fits in. I just feel like this kind of came together really well and pretty quickly, and hopefully you all will come back for another scrapping on the fly, and we'll maybe do a little more prep work next time and see if we can get it to a shorter video so you all don't like lose your mind and turn me off before I'm done. So I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you soon.